Good evening. My name is Shelby, and I was born being able to see and hear into the spirit realm. I have had a lot of things running through my mind, things that I want to talk about, things that God wants me to talk about. And so I guess I'm going to start by talking about what happens in the spirit realm around us. So, when you are in a situation and you're with friends and all of a sudden somebody brings up somebody that's not there. So say their name is Cassie. So Cassie is part of the family or the group, but Cassie isn't there, and somebody starts bad-mouthing Cassie. Okay, somebody starts talking about, things that annoy them about Cassie. And then, then the group gets going. It's like, maybe somebody has something to say that Cassie did. And then the group gets going around. Oh yeah, when I know when Cassie does this, and and then everybody is talking about Cassie. And just really digging in, and you know how people get when you're gossiping about somebody that's not around, somebody that you would smile to their face when you saw them, somebody you'd be kind to, somebody that you would have a normal conversation with, but yet here you are in this situation where you are saying terrible things about Cassie. I just kind of want to go over with you what that looks like in the spirit realm. There are demonic entities, and they're around us. They're everywhere. In the Bible, when King Nebuchadnezzar has that dream, and there's those, magicians that are, saying, oh, well, let us figure out what this dream means, and just tell us, to Nebuchadnezzar, and we'll tell you. And and then Daniel's like, and he says, no, I'm not going to tell you. I just want you to tell me what it means. And he ends up going and getting Daniel and asked Daniel to decipher this dream. And Daniel immediately starts praying, right? He's praying. He starts his fast. It takes days and days and days. It goes 21 days until an angel finally got to Daniel. And he says, obviously Daniel is in fear. Here's this warrior angel showing up. Angels are warriors. They're fierce. People think that, if you saw one, it'd be like a cherub, but they're not. They're warriors. They're spooky. I'm sure they're spooky looking. Daniel, falls on his face. He sees this, and he's like, fear not, Daniel, beloved Daniel. And then it starts telling him, from the moment that you set yourself to pray and fast, I was on my way, but I got stopped by the Prince of Persia. So there's demons. There's demons over every city. There's demons all over the place. I was born being able to hone in on these things. These things will let themselves be known to me. This has been this way my whole life. And I'll tell you, there, just in the town that I reside in now, I've had an encounter with 3 different demonic beings in 3 different homes. Demons, absolute demonic entities. They're all over. They're whispering in your ears. Yeah, talk about Cassie. Yeah, just giving you these thoughts. This thrill of sitting there talking about this person that's not there to defend themselves. That's not coming from you. That's coming from a demonic entity that is whispering in your ear. Make no mistake, that's not you. We have to decide, though. We have to decide if we're going to keep participating in this. We have to be very careful about who we are befriending in the first place. You can look at somebody and think, oh, that's a good person right there. People thought Ted Bundy was good. I mean, he was a handsome man. You know, he was friends with people in the Democratic Party at one point. You know, he would put his arm in a cast and pretend like he couldn't get something in the back of his Volkswagen Bug. And next thing you know, he'd be hitting a girl over the head and taking her back and just, you know, doing terrible things to where that person was eliminated. And I'm saying this in a way to where, because I don't want to get my video flagged, but you understand what I'm saying. We're listening to people saying things. We think we know people, and we're listening to things that these people are saying about others behind their back, and we're participating in it. We're allowing other people, and you have to stop and wonder that too. Why is this person speaking this way about their own family member? Why are they doing it? Or why are they doing that to their own friend? This person that's supposed to be their friend. Why are they talking about them in this manner? Why are they slandering this person? Why do they want to change how people around, you know, them view this individual? What is the purpose of that? You know, we're not thinking about any of that. It's like a high. It's like a high people get talking about others behind their back. There comes a point when everything that we do will come back on us. I remember when I was living in deep sin. And there was a point in time when everything that I had done came flooding back to me. Every secret thing I did while I was in addiction, every treacherous thing I did came to light. I mean, and it was back to back to back to back to back. I was exposed. There comes a point and a time when it all catches up. Next time somebody is slandering another person in front of you, I want you to think about what I'm saying right here. It's not of God. We can't, you know, say we're of God and eat at Satan's table. We can't participate. You know what God thinks about gossip and slander? He considers it murderous. We can't treat people like that. How would you feel? We've got to put ourselves in other people's shoes. Have empathy and sympathy. And I know there's people that watch my video that watch it for a specific reason, maybe to go back and tell somebody else. I mean, you know, we all have people in our lives that are like that. Demonic entities do it. When you open a door, and there's several ways to open doors: unforgiveness, addiction, you know, drugs, being a Christian, being on drugs, that opens the door. Lying, liars. You know, there's many ways. You do something that's against God, you're going to open a door. And these demonic entities have legal right to you. They whisper in your ears. You know, my whole life I've been attacked. I'm also the one that people go to. You know, when they're in need, when they're in trouble, I'm the person everybody goes to for advice, for help. Yet, that's those same people. When I need them, they're too busy. They're gone. They're just gone. The closer that you get to God, the more that you get attacked. the more you're isolated. Demons have a goal, and it's to stomp you out. They don't want you talking. They don't want you talking about God. They don't want you talking about Jesus. They do not want you, letting people know that they exist and they're, around. And some people, they won't believe any of it. Well, it's never happened to me. Why in the world would he ruin a good thing? If he's already got you, why would he expose himself to you? He's just going to keep letting you do what you do best. Stop participating in it. Stop. It's harmful. And Jesus and God, they watch all of it. And there's people that will, they'll go to the bitter end and pretend they don't know what you're talking about. They don't know what's happening, and they do. And God does. God knows. God sees it. God sees all. There's literally angels that write down your good deeds and your bad deeds. They watch everything you do. Make no mistake. He's coming. What will he find you doing when he gets here?